It's my birthday. Let's celebrate. Hey everybody, welcome back to my final episode celebrating Linkin Park's Meteora's 20th anniversary edition. I have had a blast the last 2 weeks, and I hope you guys have had too. A blast, that is. Yeah. Listening to all these new demos, these unreleased tracks, it just shows you how good this band really was. Well, still is. Well, I'll let you go with it. But yeah, it has been fun. So guys, for the final episode in this series, we are checking out Linkin Park's global fan Q&A session. They live streamed this about 2 weeks ago. I missed it because it was about 3 o'clock in the morning for me over here in Australia. So yeah, and I thought, you know what? I'll wait and I'll watch it with you guys. Who knows? There may be some questions there you guys want answered. Maybe you guys are in the video. Let me know in the comments. Did you guys get to see this? Did you guys appear in it? It's gonna be fun to watch. Alrighty, for the last time, for Meteora's 20th anniversary edition. Let's do this.
Coming out called Meteora.
Howdy. That's how we say hi around here.
Howdy.
Why do bugs like my LCU and easy? This is a very special tour for us. Play you guys some new songs. Please play our CD over and over again. Good.
Yes! Welcome everybody, we are live in Los Angeles. It's your friend Ted Stryker. And
Hello,
it's
Ted.
the Linkin Park Global Fan Q&A, and we're celebrating 20 years of Meteora.
Woo!
You know the gentleman to my right, but let's introduce him. Here's Phoenix right there. Johan.
Mr. Hall.
And Mike Shinoda. Mike Shinoda! Specifically, what's the location here?
Yeah, this is Beyond the Streets. There's it's an art gallery and event space and kind of sometimes like a museum of like great artwork. And I like just recently I've seen great art shows here. I saw something for Beastie Boys here. It's an awesome space.
Okay, and before we get to all the questions which are from your incredible fans, is this the wall?
Yeah, this is the wall. This is the wall from Meteora that we painted for that became the album packaging.
And where was it stored the last one? Not the location, but obviously you stored it. Did you think at some point, oh, we're gonna bring this sucker back?
I mean, it was. We didn't know this, but it was like stashed underneath a bunch of Joe's crap. We were literally just moving, records and toys and stuff, and we found one of the panels, and it was just, it was a big surprise.
This one is from somebody named Mumu in Malaysia. Roll it.
Hi, my name is Moon, also known as Mumu. My question for you guys is in the going back through all the archives of Hybrid Theory 20 and now Meteora 20, what was the difference like? Was there any like emotional difference, the process, as well as like the marketing? I feel like Meteora 20 feels a lot bigger. So yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Who wants to tackle that one right there?
Yeah, I think for me, Meteora 20 emotionally did feel different. And the main reason for that was we had obviously done Hybrid Theory 20, and we didn't know for sure if we wanted to do that. You know, are we doing that with every record? What are we doing? You know, kind of thing. So approaching Meteora, we knew that this anniversary was coming up, and we kind of were dialoguing and saying, is this something we want to do again? And so it kind of forced us to look at what we had and see if there was even something that was compelling and interesting, exciting for us to do. And in that process, Mike found, I think you were the one who found Lost. That was on an old hard drive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I've been saying that a lot, so we're going to stick with that.
Okay, I found it. Definitely
Somebody
found it.
found it.
Definitely found it.
This would actually probably be a good room to figure out who found it. Well, it might have been management, it might have been...
I think it was that day you told him to get lost, and he literally like, oh, I think I have it.
So
It was sitting underneath the Meteora artwork in Joe's storage locker.
Mumu, if your question was, how does information disseminate from Linkin Park? You're witnessing it. We sit down, I say something that's probably wrong, I convince Mike that it's true, and then from that point forward, we just go with that. So Mike had found Lost on an old hard drive.
I remember the day. I remember the moment it happened.
There we go.
Yeah, like it was yesterday.
I think Mike found it when he was going through my toys.
It was the last thing before this, right? Yeah. Like a set of Lost.
Yes, pile of Gundam, and then this, and then a CD.
So
On the next episode of Storage Wars,
The guy says 9 words and he has a stinger, great one for all of us. Johan, very good. Wow.
I'm like that guy that's on the couch on the David Letterman show.
Paul Schaefer, the band leader? Or are you talking about Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon?
I was originally thinking Ed McMahon,
Yeah,
but I
Ed
like Paul
McMahon.
Schaefer better.
There you go. Yeah.
Very, very topical. Okay, let's go. Let's go to...
we have time for one more question.
Yes. Okay, so we're live on...
Everybody was kind of in our corner and was like, yeah, like take creative control, take your time, take risks, do the stuff that you, like, oh, you want to have a string group come in and play strings on Faint? Okay, let's do that. Like, a shakuhachi player on Nobody's Listening? Fine, like, that's fine. Weirdos. Like, what is that going to be? But, like, we could do weird stuff. We could do stuff that was, like, popped into our head. We thought it was interesting for some reason. And maybe to me, it leads to, like, Breaking the Habit. Like, Breaking the Habit had no heavy guitars. It had no screaming. It had a lot of programmed drums and strings and piano. And to be able, as Linkin Park, who was known for, like, loud, like loud guitars and screaming, whatever, to be able to go out with that and put it out as a single, like, that's, I think, what it was built on.
Did you ever feel, because I've heard you guys say many years ago and recently in all the different chats, that you had the freedom on the second album because the first one did so well and so many people were in your ear and Hybrid Theory, don't do this, you can't do that, it's never going to be successful, but wasn't it almost like, okay, they're giving us all this freedom, this better not stink?
Yeah, that could have been part of it. I don't know. Actually, this is a good, like, maybe this is a good forum for you guys. I feel like I've been talking about that. I've been leading that, answering that question a lot, and I'm curious what you guys think about that in terms of pressure, or is that the question? Pressure?
Yes, yeah. Guys, you can do what you want. Here, you want to bring this sort of musician in, you want the songs this way, go for it. Let's see it.
Yeah, let's see it, but don't screw it up.
Correct.
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think about that?
No pressure.
What was the question?
You are correct, sir. Phoenix?
In the back of our minds, we knew that if things went wrong, we always knew that if things went wrong, we'd just blame it on Mike. So for me and Joe, I think there wasn't a ton of pressure. No, in all seriousness, I think that at one point somebody asked, like, if this one doesn't work, do you ever think like this could be the last record that you guys do? And I was kind of like, no, I hadn't thought about that yet. But you're right. This is a little stressful now. Hopefully this works out because I'm really enjoying being.
I'd say it did.
So, for job security wise, hopefully this record actually is as good as we hope it is.
The mural actually represents the work behind doing it. Like all the documentation is not necessarily about the mural, but us working on the mural. And I think that's really echoed with this 20-year anniversary box set. It shows all that stuff in ways that, especially with the demos, I think you hear like these scratch vocals. Some of it's humming. Like none of it's intended to be final vocals, so it's very raw. But it's at this point, it's important for people to hear it, to know that it came from somewhere and there was a thought process put behind it.
Frank, who's in the room also, who we did the mural with the wall, we were talking about it earlier, and if you notice, like over on this side, there's still masking tape on the wall. Like that wasn't intended to be part of the art. Like it was, we were going to pull that off, right? But we left it on after we kind of were wrapping up the day. We left stuff up like that because it was because of the theme. Because it was like, oh yeah, this is like our band. Like we're just kind of like still kind of developing and we're figuring it out while we go.
And somewhere over here, I think we might be blocking it. Yeah, Joe might be blocking it, but work in progress turned into dork in progress.
It's underneath Joe.
I just saw that today. I'd forgotten about that, and that made me laugh.
How does it feel after 20 years of Meteora that you are still so loved and appreciated and that the fan base is as strong as ever?
Probably more so.
Good.
Next question.
Sorry. I took your answer, didn't I?
Of course, it feels good if you want to add to that.
It's a really good effort over there. I like that you're trying to.
And thank you, Louis.
Please don't make me move on.
This question just came in. Somebody's watching us live on YouTube. Somebody named Brad Delson. And this is exactly what it says. It just came in. I'm sorry I couldn't join in person this morning. What is that word?
Intuiting.
I'm intuiting that all three of you are crushing this Q&A. My question is for Phoenix. Phoenix, is it ever socially awkward to be that handsome?
As I'm blushing, I would say yes. And so you guys know a little bit about Brad. The only reason why he asked this question is so he could write intuiting. You know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a very, very smart guy.
He wanted to intuit you, see if you could read it.
I dropped the ball. Of all the people in the band, I run into him more on the streets of LA randomly, like over the last. It's crowd like, hey, why are you at this place? Why are you here? This next question, where's Juan Quinones? Juan? Hey, Juan! What's up, buddy?
Hey.
The production of the song Nobody's Listening is at an all-time high.
Oh.
What inspired you to use the shakuhachi in the song?
That's what it was, not a whistle or flute.
Did you
My
write
bad.
this question after I said that a minute ago? I feel like it just.
No.
It's a really good follow-up question to the answer that he didn't know I was going to give.
Correct.
That was kind of the idea, is to use this like interesting instrument that you wouldn't really hear on other stuff.
And he's Japanese.
I just sit around in a
like it.
kimono, like playing shakuhachi all the time, eating sushi. speaking Japanese.
Christ.
Well, Mike actually he smashes his leftover rice to make mochi.
I do. Yeah.
We got so sick of Mike playing shakuhachi in the tour bus.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, did he?
I almost believe that. We'll put that on my Wikipedia page and just make it true.
The worst is when he had those little chimes. He plays shakuhachi and go. Remember
The wind
that?
chimes.
Yeah.
All the time.
Before we get to the next question on video, a follow-up. Were there some, in your mind, failures that were great ideas where you brought something in musically and within a minute or maybe 20 days you're like, this is just not that great? Can you think of anything that happened during the recording of Meteora, Mike?
The ones I think
haven't
of
had-
are
we
the ones I
haven't
think
had
of are
those.
on later album. All of the ones that just were coming to my mind were later. But what was
Man, I
one?
mean, everything we make is so good.
He's right.
All right.
My question is about Mike's quote from an interview from 2003, which sounds like this. We probably wrote enough songs to do a second album and then a third album. The songs that aren't on Meteora, I hope no one ever hears them because they're awful. How would you like to comment the statement now, 20 years later? Has your opinion changed from them being awful to at least okay-ish? Thank you.
What
So
an
the
awesome
question was, I
question.
don't know if you heard it clearly, Mike apparently at one point said, yeah, there's other music we made for Meteora, but I hope nobody ever hears it.
What the first thing she said is, "I'm here brewing bananas." You guys heard that, right?
These guys are never on my Discord, so they don't know everybody's screen names. So that's the thing. They didn't either. Like, who's Mumu? I'm like, oh god. It's like an epic saga on the Discord.
Be careful what you say, man, because these words last forever.
They really do. You once said 20 years ago when you were like after a 18-hour flight and 3 hours of sleep with jet lag, you said
Right.
in your 14th interview of the day right after you played a show, you said this thing about the music that you didn't release being awful. First of all, that's some context. So I don't have any idea what the context was when I was saying that thing. But no, Joe and I were talking about, like, so specifically, there's a track on Meteora 20 called Massive. There's a track on Meteora 20 that's an early version of Breaking the Habit that's me just like quietly singing in falsetto, like the melodies and the words as I heard them like in the original demo. Like those things, like the demos had just started. I came up with an idea. I took a microphone like this one and just like quietly did them into the computer to get the idea down. When I did that back in those days especially, it wasn't with the intention of you ever hearing them. That was not my assumption was that nobody but the band would ever hear the demo. So yeah, so in terms of like what I hear when I listen to it is that. But what Joe was saying to me earlier, and this is probably I think more true for most people, is like it is fun to hear the process. Like the process for me, that process is every day. For them, it's like they never get to hear that. It's really unusual. So I understand the interest in hearing those horrible demos.
That's exactly what I was saying. I think it was about day 5 or day 6. Listening to the demos and then listening to the album versions. When you listen to the demos, it's like watching an origin story, and you get to hear that transition from the very rough cut, like Mike said, he thought no one would ever hear, to the final polished version that ends up on the album. Like, for me anyway, like as a DJ, as an ex-DJ, I love hearing that transformation. I love hearing that journey that a song takes between demo and album. I'm just saying. It's nice to know Mike agrees with me.
So 20 years ago, Linkin Park, celebrating the release of Meteora, played The Will Turned. Was anyone at that show? Okay, I saw you there. And I remember doing an interview with the guys that night. And like when you're in the moment of this stuff, you don't think, oh, I need to remember every millisecond of this. So I wish I could, but I remember the show. I remember being in the basement. We had a live audience that night as well. Did you guys, like, what do you remember about the actual release? Was it like a Tower Records thing involved, a signing? Did it feel like total lunacy for you guys? What was it like that day, the day before, week after? Yes, show signing. There were 2 shows at the Wiltern. Wiltern.
Well, no, the other, you said 2?
It was the Wiltern, you went to the release, and then the
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
It was the we did the show and then we went to the signing and then we went to the Wiltern.
I thought she said 2 shows. Why would we play 2 shows at the Wiltern? Like, that doesn't make... Because we're insane.
Yeah.
I remember, no, the signing was, to me, like, the show, I remember, like, doing a show.
Was that Tower in
So the
Sherman
signing,
Oaks?
that was like a really memorable, that signing was crazy. We stayed forever. I mean, I remember them saying we need to shut this down, and the band like kind of like we took a break at one point because it was so long. We stepped out. Management was like, come get some water, go to the bathroom, like chill for a second. And then when we were taking a break, they're like, everybody kind of powwowed about like, how long are you gonna do this? This is a lot of people. So we decided, everybody in the band decided, like, we shouldn't leave people behind. Like, we've signed for a lot of people, but it's a doable amount of people in line. Like, we can do that. So we didn't close the door on anybody, I think.
Which is why we all like you guys so much still. Because you've put in the effort from day one.
Oh, can I
and
change?
the LPU from like 2001, it's just like, I feel connected, so does everybody else.
Can I change my answer a little bit, though?
Sure.
Like, the 3 of us were really like, we should do it, and then Brad was like, no, I don't want to. Forget those guys. Like,
Brad.
Yeah, I remember Brad was not very into it.
Yeah, Brad was definitely the one, the only one.
I don't think he caught that one.
Yeah.
And that's going to segue into a question from somebody in the room.
Oh, yeah, the mullet day. I forgot about the mullet day. And, yeah, stuff. I didn't remember that we did pre-production in my little weird, like, studio at my house that didn't even have furniture yet. We were on tour the whole time, so, like, I hadn't been home to put a sofa in the room. Like, there was nothing in there. It was just, it looked terrible. There was like I think there was like a mount on the wall for a TV, but I don't know if there was even a TV in it. There was just like this weird. When you watch it, you'll be like, oh, that's weird. Why is this room so, I don't know, not put together? The other reason was that the check was in the mail. Like the people was like, yeah. So the album that you made, you toured, biggest album on the planet. So where's the check? yeah. It's coming.
Give me my money.
You guys don't understand. I don't have a sofa in here. Like.
The 3 of you specifically have been in a room just chatting, but I mean, you're together, and from the first second we started, you're in sync. And that is really, really cool and exciting to see. And it feels good from our perspective to see you guys like that right now.
In sync?
You seem like new kids on the block right now.
Well, we've always been looking to just
Boys?
have one direction.
Okay. It's like 38 degrees in this room. Or is it 28? 98.
That's hot. He was thinking Celsius.
All right, Mike. Do you want to answer the very heartfelt, serious question?
It's a really nice question. First of all, like really, really sweet for you to ask that and ask it that way.
Joe, what was your favorite video to direct during the Meteora era?
Ooh. Can I just say before you answer,
Thank.
the videos, some of my favorite videos Joe ever did were some of the Meteora ones. Like, I don't know, we don't often talk about that, but...
Thank you for saying that.
Mm.
I I don't even remember all the videos. Some of the ones that stand out, Breaking the Habit, because I've always wanted to work in animation, and I worked with some great people in Japan on that one. Also, I think it was just a really meaningful song, and I was able to convey a version of what that song meant.
Did we do From the Inside and Numb kind of at the same time, or was it, how far apart were those?
They were different times, but like maybe a few months apart because of our schedule, and we knew that those songs were so good they had to be singles. We had to I was in the middle of asking my question. Yeah, Numb and From the Inside. Yeah. No. Oh yeah, we made those in Prague, and Numb was partly here and partly in Prague, and a lot of it had to do with our touring cycle. We were kind of everywhere, but had to get a lot done. But I felt like actually all three of those were just pinpointed the emotion that the songs were about, and showed us as a band and how cool we were and how cool we looked on screen. And yeah, I didn't direct Faint. No.
Actually, I thought that was interesting though, because when yes,
okay,
it was a Meteora. But that was, as I remembered, there was like, it was weird to like have a discussion about you not directing a video after we were clear that you were going to direct some videos or direct the videos, and I remembered you being once it was Mark Romanek, it was almost like, oh yeah. I like Mark Romanek.
Yeah,
so that
he's like still one of my favorite music video directors. He's directed pretty much like, if there's a top 10 of music videos, he holds many spots on that list. But yeah, for me, it's more excitement of being a fan of his work.
When I was talking about like the like emotional intelligence, I think that's an example of it to me, that like we could have a conversation like that, and it was uncomfortable, right? But it was okay to have that conversation and get to a point where we actually did the video and experienced what that was, and then we loved it, and we went back to doing more videos with Joe. And it kind of flexed back and forth at times. Yeah.
All right, let's go to another video question here. We're going to Italy, and this is Simone. Roll it.
Hi guys, Simone from Italy here. I simply like to know, how do you feel when you take your 20 years old songs like Lost, for example, or Fighting Myself, out from the box, you mix them today, you release them, and then you realize that they could be nowadays songs. I think your music is eternal. But what do you think about that? What do you think about your immortality in music? Keep on rocking, guys. We need you.
Hold on a minute.
Do you guys understand that?
There's a lot of jump cuts.
Yes. What the hell just happened?
Are we supposed to take the green screen and replace it with something else?
Yeah.
Did we miss
that could have been, we missed an opportunity there. Oh. Like we could have put him in outer space. We could have,
Right.
Maybe that's what we were supposed to do.
It could have been anywhere.
I was thinking a Super Mario Brothers world behind him.
Wait, that got streamed just now. Like, you, please, everybody online, please take that video. It's now yours. I expect to see GIFs of that.
Oh yes.
With words.
I will
Just
do, Mike. I will do.
If you could encapsulate that question into 10 words or less, what would that question be? Oh, right there.
That was awesome. There it is. Okay. Somebody said to me, they were basically like, did you know when you kept them off the album that you were making a mistake? Right?
That's one way of putting it.
I love that delivery. There's those songs, to some people, and I can totally see it, is like, yeah, I prefer this song that wasn't on the album to this song that was on the album. Like, fair enough. Like, everyone's gonna have an opinion about that. And at the end of the day, I think the way that if I get too into that line of questioning when we're making an album, it can be kind of paralyzing, right? You're choosing track listing. You've got 20 demos, and you're gonna pare it down to 12 songs. For me, the way I always looked at it was, this is a snapshot of this moment in time. So it's 2003. This is the album we're making. Whatever decision I make now is like, it's good for now. Like, if I disagree with it in 20 years, okay, fine. But this is the photo I took. Like, it's a time capsule.
You know, he wasn't going to be at the apartment that evening, but he was like, if you have to use the bathroom, that was how he phrased it. If you have to use the bathroom, just disregard the hair. I haven't cleaned up since I shaved my head. The kicker on that was he had shaved his head 6 months prior, like for a. But Brad should be here to be able to defend himself. But to defend Brad, he hadn't been at the apartment for like 6 months because we had been touring and gone. So all that just to say, we were still like trying to figure out, how to be adults. We were still adulting, but very early stages when it came to Meteora. And so when I look back at especially some of the footage of the making of and that kind of thing, and we're seeing all this mullets and us doing ridiculous things as we're working on this record, I now have to answer to my kids asking me, what's going on there? Like, what are you wearing? What's going on with your hair? Like, you weren't funny then either.
Tough crowd at home.
It's a tough crowd.
Wow.
I got 3 daughters. We don't,
Yeah.
I don't get to say a lot.
What's that, Phoenix?
What's the first song off Hunting Party? I wanted to open a show with that one.
Kings and...
I think would have been awesome. Yeah. But we never did.
Oh. Maybe we should just play that whole album live.
Yes! Do it now! Do it now!
Or not.
Your timing is impeccable. I always knew you were funny. This is crazy. Okay.
Be like, okay, great. We're going to keep writing songs. We're going to dive back in there and tweak this, like, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to have Joe try to do some rapping, see how that goes. Singing.
How dare they? How dare they laugh at that?
That would never happen, guys.
Not everything's a joke.
Still writing new choruses, and usually you'd finish writing a record, then you'd mix it, then you'd master it, and it's done. We were still writing choruses to Somewhere I Belong during the mastering stage and flying them in from a studio next door to our mastering engineer. Like, it was stupid. It was bad. That was not a good idea. We did it that time, and we got to the place where we needed to get, but I used that as an example later. I was like, we don't want to do that again. We don't want to get to that point again, so we got to put in the work. I would say that to, like, Brad, for example. I'd be like, we got to do this work now. I'm not comfortable going to mix yet because I don't want to end up in that Somewhere I Belong problem.
This is from Ted Stryker.
Wow.
Last
Already?
question.
Really?
Feeling
Stryker?
the energy in this room and knowing that everybody is watching and appreciating not only the work from 20 years ago, but from 10 years ago and 5 years ago. Has the creative itch been totally scratched, or is there more Linkin Park stuff that you want to go dig in, find, and put out year to year?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Why was that cut? Why was that cut?
All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it right there. Did you have a good time?
Yeah! Anyone know what he said?
Unbelievable.
Let me know
guys.
down in the comments.
They've been so important to so many millions of people over so many years.
Saved
I'm
so
grateful
many
that I got
lives.
to be here with everybody today and with the guys. Give it up, Phoenix, for Joe and Mike Shinoda. Meteora 20, everybody, of course, is out. Thank you so much for watching Around the World. I am Ted Stryker, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
We got a record coming out called Meteora.
Howdy. That's how we say hi around here.
Yes, yes, thank you guys very much.
That was cool. That was cool.
Check, mic check. Hey everybody, how are you? Good to see you, LPU. So, I need a favor from the folks sitting in the middle of the first two rows. Please, get up, grab your chair, and move to the back of the room. I know it's a little awkward, but it's
Fantastic, then.
Oh, that was good. So what did you guys think of that? And with that, my Meteora journey has come to an end.
Oh no.
So much fun. I've had so much fun. I hope you guys have too. I know I've said this before, but again, thank you guys for joining me. Later today, got myself another video coming up. Birthday video. Something a little different this time. Gonna be reacting to one of my favorite movies of all time. What will it be? No, you'll have to wait and see. So guys, again, thank you so much. Like this video if you've had fun over the last 2 weeks. Subscribe. I've got so much more stuff to come. I've got a few requests to come. Yeah. And speaking of requests, guys, if you want, leave a comment right down below. What do you guys want me to react to? I've got a couple of movies, I've got a few songs coming up, but yeah. Anything new, guys, anything I haven't seen before, anything I haven't heard before, let me know down in the comments. I'll check it out. Also, link in the description to my Patreon, where this video will be uploaded and will be uncut, except for the bits where I had to get up and walk away. Otherwise, it's going to be the complete hour, uncut, uncensored, and yeah. Alright guys, I'm off. Gonna go and get my drinking game ready, and I will see you guys for my movie. If not, back to regular scheduling programming. Is that how it goes? I will see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. Thank you. Keep rocking.